lime in the coconut.
Sure, you can spend hours on a curry. I mean, you can mortar and pestle your own herbs and spices and exoticisms. But when it comes right down to it, I don't have the time. I promise I won't go all ancient on you on this recipe. And this is by no means an authentic curry recipe. This is like a taste of home, Betty Crocker, kind of a church cookbook type recipe. And trust me, I like the ladies of the church. A lot of us don't have access to Asian markets. I know I have a Thai cookbook that's about 700 pages long. I don't live in Seattle. I don't live in San Francisco. I can't get fish. I'm pretty much landlocked, so I have to deal with the one thing I know I can get a lot of: chicken. So I decided, what the heck, let's give it a shot. Let's make a curry. If they didn't double stuff Oreos, they wouldn't make a good meal. So here it is, my quick and dirty take on curry. It's not something you can find like Gourmet Magazine or Bon Appetit. It's the way I'd do it if it was a Monday or Tuesday night, and I only had an hour to spend and probably about $12 to my name.
First off of the grocery store. Nice boobs.
First we have a red pepper. One thing I did not know about this was that a red pepper is the same thing as a green pepper. It's just been left on the vine longer. I guess that's why they can hammer you at the grocery store for these things. They're just a lot sweeter and less bitter, and they're kind of like more mature green pepper, if that makes sense.
Now we get to the lowly green pepper. Look at this sorry looking thing. Already even looks like it was worth 79 cents from Kroger. But I'll chop it into little stamp-sized pieces, just add a little bit of color. And it gives an extra chance for me to show off my Alvin and the Chipmunks chopping skills. Speedy, quick, precise. No ways to speed it up. Now we get to the yellow onion. Usually I wouldn't use yellow onion in a curry. It's just not something you would see in a lot of Indian or Far Asian cooking. But this was during COVID-19, and this was all I had at my piece of crap corner bodega.
I'm not sick. It's just allergies.
Just a standard yellow onion, just chopped into little, I guess, sugar cube sized chunks. It'll all break down. And this is where I put a little south in your mouth. A little yellow squash. Just your standard southern squash. This again is probably a little unorthodox item you would see, or ingredient you would see in a standard curry, but it works. I mean, it just kind of adds a little more color, a little more, makes it a little thicker actually. It's a thickening agent if you rub it thick. You also need tomato paste, standard low-fat plain yogurt, some Thai red curry paste, garlic powder, pretty standard, ground red pepper, and toilet paper.
No soldier left behind.
Here we get the boneless chicken breasts, cut off that central tendon, and cut off the fatty earlobe thing over here. You want to cut off any extra pieces of like stringy fat hanging on. This is going into a stew and it'll all break down, but there's something psychologically disgusting about eating that kind of sort of stuff. Then you just cut it into little strips, just about the size of French fries. Nothing too complicated here, just don't cut your finger off. Kind of common sense tip is to put the chicken in the freezer before you do this, so it's a little easier to trim. It makes it more solid and less kind of squishy. But at this point, I don't think the chicken really cares. It's there for the ride.
It's like a NASCAR event. You just fire it up.
I'm gonna take my clothes off.
Just don't need to put a ton of oil in here. I mean, Exxon Valdez did a
I'm gonna take my clothes off.
It'll all be okay. No
Now you're
big
just
deal.
dumping all the vegetables. Be careful not to splatter any oil on your genitalia. Then you just give this rainbow of colors a nice stir and admire all the beautiful colors.
Sizzle it up. It ain't no Waffle House, but it's close.
Here you are witness to my guilt in one of the biggest, most pathetic cheats in Indian cooking history. The use of garlic powder in a recipe. You would never see any Indian man, woman, or child using garlic powder in anything. I'm sorry, do not copy the sinner. Time to push the tomato paste out of the can. Now the top of the can lid is going into the curry. Now if you're having Jaws from James Bond movies over, go ahead and leave that in there. If not, if you're having your pastor over, go ahead and fish that thing out. No, Dad, I've already eaten like a bag of Nestle chocolate chips. I don't want your shit. Alright.
Seriously, I could live off Skittles. Tropical, please.
It's time to add the coconut milk. Bando Soleil for that Saint-Tropez tan. Always reminds me of tanning oil. This is where this all turns into a Panama City tasteful one piece.
Panama City Beach, the bad part. I taped a kilo of Colombian Bam Bam underneath this tanning bed. A couple dollops of curry paste. Add the pizzazz you're looking for in this dish.
Let's bring the heat, son!
A little red hot. No hurts. The spiciness. Hopefully, not all be okay.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Not for this chicken. Just going in boiling hot curry. Just clucking. Ain't no fucking.
This is where I get to vent about chicken allergies. This is prevalent in about 0.02% of the population. Salmonella is one thing, but having an allergy to chicken, I think would be one of the most miserable things I could ever experience. But I've heard a lot about it recently, and I want to stop.
Instant Pot is a total. Instant Pot ain't worth a damn.
It's the same thing as a crock pot.
We were
I
just
wasn't
aiming for your
aiming
testicles,
at
Dad.
me.
I really was not
Not
aiming
you.
for your testicles. I wasn't aiming for your testicles. That was just a
It
ball.
was a hacky sack malfeasance,
Okay.
son.
It was a hacky sack, okay?
A
Hacky
lot of
sack.
people get freaked out about raw chicken. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. It's just you have to keep it boiling for a little bit. Generally get through. If not, I know a lot of good emergency rooms.
Due to COVID-19, we didn't have a lot of full flavored yogurt for some reason. So I'm using the low fat stuff. I don't know if this stuff even curdles, but I just stirred it in. We'll see. Cut the heat. I mean, it did, but it's like diffusing a bomb. And here it is, coconut curry. And I don't expect a tip.